And what's going on, Read My Lips people? We are back. So I wanted to talk about something that some may deem just a little controversial. Okay? AndrewYang commented on the opioid crisis that has struck Ohio. This is at the 4th Democratic debate. And he made some really good points. I'm going to play that clip, and then we're going to come back and talk about it.
To decriminalize the possession and use of small amounts of opioids, including heroin, how would that solve the crisis?
That's exactly right. And we have to recognize this is a disease of capitalism run amok. There was a point when there were more opiate prescriptions in the state of Ohio than human beings in the state of Ohio. And for some reason, the federal government thought that was appropriate. They ended up levying a $600 million fine against Purdue Pharma, which sounds like a lot of money, until you realize that company made $30 billion. They got a 2% fine, and they killed tens of thousands of Americans 8 an hour. So if the government turned a blind eye to this company spreading a plague among its people, then the least we can do is put the resources to work in our communities so our people have a fighting chance to get well. Even though this is not a money problem, we all know this is a human problem. And part of helping people get the treatment that they need is to let them know that they're not going to be referred to a prison cell. They will be referred to treatment and counseling. I talked to an EMT in New Hampshire, and he said he saves the same addicts over and over again. Because the fact is, after you save someone who's ODing, you just bring them back to their house and they OD again the following week. So we need to decriminalize opiates for personal use. We have to let the country know this is not a personal failing. This was a systemic government failing. And then we need to open up safe consumption and safe injection sites around the country because they save lives.
So this isn't Yang's first time talking about essentially the war on drugs. Now, this is something critical. This is critical. As I stated before, AndrewYang, Bernie Sanders, and Tulsi Gabbard essentially share the same pool of voters in a sense. Okay? You know, Sanders, Yang, and Tulsi can be looked at as progressive, or they have progressive policies, right? And if somebody's stuck, or if somebody's between a rock and a hard place as to who to vote for, they can really scrutinize their policies and make a decision based off that. So, as you know, I love me some Bernie. Love me some Bernie. It's Bernie Sanders. However, I prefer UBI over federal jobs guarantee. So that right there is enough to make you, scratch your chin. You know what I mean? So let's dig a little deeper. You dig a little deeper. AndrewYang is for legalizing all drugs. Bernie Sanders is not. He said he's cool with marijuana, but not so much for legalizing all drugs. Actually, Crystal from The Hill interviewed both Sanders and Yang, and they both gave very, very different answers. The video I did is in the card above. Feel free to check that out. Those are two key differences between the two candidates, and that can really make a difference in the decision making of who someone wants to vote for. So this is really bold. This is really bold for him to come out and say, because people tend to have a visceral reaction when they hear, yeah, legalize drugs. People usually are taken aback. I don't know, it's a weird stigma surrounding drugs, where you view people as bad or horrendous, when other places like the Portugal model that is going on view the people as needing help, and they use it as a health crisis. So AndrewYang's transitioning the talk of drugs to a health crisis as opposed to locking people up, and I think that's a bold move right now. I think that's a bold move, and some people may view that as controversial. For example, I have a Republican colleague who admittedly smokes. He smokes marijuana. smokes it. Brags about how good it is. Keeps it in a jar, says you can smell the shit before you even get to it. Right? Smokes it, likes it, enjoys it. But he's not for legalizing it. Now, I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking. So you enjoy this shit. You do it every other day. But let's not make it legal. What screws became loose in his head? I don't get it either. I've talked to him about it a couple times. And he really has never given me a solid answer as to why it shouldn't be legal. But here's the thing. Here's the kicker. He's an older guy. He's an older gentleman. I don't mean 30, 40s. He's older than that. So I'm wondering, is it sort of a generational issue where they just can't bring themselves to that mindset of drugs not being bad, full stop, like marijuana, or drugs, if you're doing drugs, you are a bad person, and that it's not a health issue, full stop? I think it might have something to do with the age. If you agree, let me know in the comment section. If you disagree, let me know in the comment section. I'm interested to hear your take on it. But yeah, I just wanted to come out and say, like, this is pretty big on Yang's part. It's big, it's bold, and it's brave. Because again, not everybody is gonna be for that. In the video that I did, Yang versus Bernie, the war on drugs, not too many people were originally for, yeah, legalize that shit. Yeah, it makes sense. I'd say it was pretty split. It was pretty split between people who were for legalizing it and weren't for legalizing it. So it's a bold statement he's making with this, and I give him kudos. And admittedly, I was one of the people, I don't know, I'm a weirdo. I'm a fucking weirdo, because I'm one of those people that say, don't fucking tell me what to put in my body. Don't tell me what to do with my body. I'm for legalizing prostitution. I'm for legalizing all, drugs. Don't tell me what the fuck to do with my body. But I understand why people have a visceral reaction to be opposed to it. I get it. I honestly do. But let's talk some facts. Because AndrewYang said some things there, and I want to put it into context. So let's ask ourselves, has Ohio been hit by an opioid epidemic? Klobuchar talked about it too, right? About Ohio being in a crisis. I think she said the state of Ohio has been hit by the opioid epidemic. We need to take on the pharmaceutical companies and make them pay. So, I'm not a Klobuchar fan, but she's absolutely right. Ohio is one of the highest rates of fatal drug overdoses in the nation. Alright, opioids, heroin, and fentanyl have ravaged the state for years. Alright? And then Yang said something. Yang said, he threw out a stat. And he said there was a point when there were more opioid prescriptions in the state of Ohio than humans in the state of Ohio. That absolutely checks out. That is factual. Ohio's estimated population surpassed 11.6 million last year. The state's drug prescription database exceeded that number. It was 12.2 million. That is amazing. That is insane. That is insane. Within the last year, 2 years actually, people dying from prescription opioids has decreased. However, deaths from illegal fentanyl and heroin have increased. So nothing's fucking getting better. Nothing's getting better. Whatever we're doing right now, it's not fixing it. And so I'm always for, all right, this isn't working. Let's try this. Let's give this a shot. And listen, I'm for it. Let's try this out. Yang makes some amazing arguments. Let's try this out and see where it takes us. Portugal did it, and they have amazing results. But you might hear the typical, we can't do it. It's funny. When it's for something that they want, you know, corporate media, the corporate politicians, stuff like that, we're America. We're America. We can do it. We're America. We can do it. But when it's something progressive like this, or Medicare for All, or UBI, they're like, well, pie in the sky, we can't do it. That's something we can't do. We can't do that. What are you talking about? Come back down to reality. You can't do it. Oh, the military budget? Yeah, of course we can fucking do it. What's wrong with you? So there might be some pushback to this. I'm interested to see how much pushback a president would get from trying to legalize all drugs. But it's a path I'm willing to watch. It's a path I'm willing to see progress. So, yeah, I just wanted to bring that to you guys. What are your thoughts on legalizing all drugs? Is it something you're for? Is it something you're against? Do you think it could even be done? Let me know in the comment section below. I'm interested to hear from you. If you like what you see, if you like what you hear, please like, comment, and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. If you don't, let me know in the comment section why. I'm always down to talk about it. I also have a PayPal and a Venmo in the description below. If you feel like donating to Read My Lips to help my channel grow, I'd greatly appreciate it. Every little bit helps. Hopefully I'll be talking to you guys soon. Have a good one. Peace.